Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again here to Virtual Racing Network. We have a short race for you here tonight. Well, sort of short. The laps are short, but the distance is not, as we have a 1.96 mile long track. So essentially, a almost a super speedway, but we will not be seeing super speedway speeds here tonight, as we are at Sonoma Raceway for the first road course of the season. Should be a great race, but of course, before we get into the racing details, we need to get over to the sponsors here for tonight's race. This race is brought to you by the following partners: Global Building Contractors, iRacing Drivers World, and Gold Cube. Make sure you check them all out on their social media sites, websites, however you can get a hold of them, and thank them for what they do to support this league. And of course, on the broadcast side of things here for 2019, the following partners make it all possible. Those include Northwest Racing Series, Walls Beard Co. Beard Balm, RaceOnTexas.com, World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, Huffman Designs, RACECORE themselves, and of course Crumb's Custom Graphics. If you need any of their services, make sure you check them out first, as they are the sponsors that keep this going. So support the series, support VRN, and support the company by using their services. It's the best way you can do all in one. Is tonight we are here at Sonoma Raceway for the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors. And looks like we got 25 drivers that have made the trip here, and we will have no full course cautions tonight, so this race will be from green to checkered, nothing in between, except for some local cautions, and we will not be aware of them unless we see the car actually spin out and go. But they, of course, will get that local caution to them. Before we get any further here, we got about 2.5 minutes coming up on the clock. We're going to let you go on board with the driver here, as let's go on board. Let's go on board with Alex Huffman, if we could, and give you a just a view here. Whoo, yes, Dodge. I believe that's the 4 there of Justin Winters. But just to give you an idea of what it's like to be behind the wheel of one of these things here, so we'll go one lap around here with Alex Huffman real fast, and we go silent on the mic. Alright, back here on the mic. He's coming around again. It's not going to take him a whole lot of time to get around here, as you right there would have been the exit to pit road, and I believe they're getting around 21 laps of fuel here. That is, again, just a rough estimate. We may see if we can't talk to a driver later on in the session here while they're coming down pit road, but it's going to be tough, as there are no cautions here on road courses, and there's no full course cautions. But again, let's switch over to Mikey Neal Jr., who is out on the track as well. Has some damage to that car. But again, this track is just under 2 miles. It's going to take them roughly... Ow! He's going to just nail that outside wall there. It's going to take them roughly 1:15 to get around the track, so the race will take a little bit of time, but in the grand scheme of things, 40 laps will go away very quickly, and it'll just be a matter of finding the battles out on the track tonight, as again those cautions are going to make them get spread out. And how will the start go? It will be a rolling start, so it could get very hairy at the start of this race. It just will have to be up to these drivers to determine how clean of a start we get. Obviously, we will stay clean and green here tonight. The clean, that's going to be a little iffy there as time runs out for practice, as that will do it. Qualifying is coming up next, so we'll go ahead and bring down your qualifying order on to the screen. And I believe everybody's name, no, we have the 9 not showing up. Just indicates that we got in here before they did, and they had not put a lap in when we were here. But it looks like we're going to have Jack Fellers come out on to the track as one of our first drivers. Again, we will go ahead and bring the qualifying bar up. But they obviously are going to have a long road ahead of them before we officially put in their first lap. So 2 laps have to be put in before any times will officially be put in. So we're going to let them do that. We are going to go silently here on the mic for just a moment, and when times start rolling in, we will start following them here at Sonoma Raceway. Alright, we do see some warm-up laps coming in. So, of course, we're going to jump over there to him. Sterling Smith has a warm-up lap in, a minute 36.560. Again, we will refer to times here today, ladies and gentlemen, as a 560 or a 619. We're only going to talk about the last 3 digits, unless they're running different. If we see like a minute 15, we'll clarify that as a minute 15 560 or a minute 14 560. But when we refer to their lap as being a 560 or .560, no, we'll let you know it's probably going to be in the minute 15s, 16s. But we will clarify that. Most of these guys roughly running about the same time. There will be some different times here that are going to be a little bit faster. I know. What is Mikey Neal Jr. out there? So we'll switch over to him real fast. I know he's been running some really fast times here. I expect to see good times from him, as they are all pretty much working on their first time lap. As Jack Feller is going to be the first one out. He's going to put in a time. It was at the top, a minute 18.430. He's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to get the number 32 machine in the top 10 for that qualifying run. Sterling Smith, a minute 17, so roughly a second faster here in qualifying, and that time's not going to stick either, as Alex Huffman's going to run a minute 16, 5:49. He'll be even faster, as Brian Jones, a minute 18, 3:44. So right now, excuse me, times are all over the place as far as seconds. We have a minute 16, 17, and 2 18s here in qualifying. The next one possibly could be coming in. We'll see Mikey Neal, Justin Callahan, Mike Watts, Josh Reeves was out there. I expect to see him put in a lap pretty soon. It looks like he may have restarted there. Sorry about the cough. Not feeling real good here tonight. And it looks like Brandon Young is going to put in a 5th place time with a minute 22. Definitely not the time he is looking for here tonight. With that number 51 Beard Reverence Chevrolet here tonight. So we'll catch him a little bit later. Let's jump down here to, I believe Josh Reeves is actually sponsored by a global building contractor, so he definitely needs to put that thing in victory lane here tonight to represent well for That's a number 69 team, again, sponsored by the sponsor for this series, Global Building Contractors. So definitely has got his work cut out for him. We don't see him very often. We'll see if he is able to take it to the top of the charts as he's coming to the line, and right there will cross it, and it's going to be invalid. A lap does not count. He must have got into the wall, and now he's definitely going to slide it. That lap will not count, but Jameer Muhammad's will, as he'll put that number 2 Global Building Contractors Chevrolet to second place with a minute 16:406. Running a very fast time in his own right. He'll take the second. We have Jack Feller still in 5th place at the moment. Brandon Young being dropped to 7th at the moment. And we have Rafael Trindle jumping to 3rd with a minute 16:952. It's another fast time for him. As we have Michael Bumgardner here. Bumgardner is not a time yet. We'll see. Mikey Neal Jr., surprisingly enough, has not put in a time yet. I expect to see him put in a time here very shortly. Alright, Mikey Neal's about to put in a time as he slows way down. And that is going to cost him a lot of time here in his first lap. The question is, will he stop before he completes it? They only have 3 minutes left, so he needs to get a lap in. And it does, and it's going to be a minute 28:973 if that lap does count. And it's not showing as a fast lap, so an invalid time there for Mikey Neal Jr. I'll jump over to one of the few drivers that could put in a time. That is going to be Michael Bumgardner, who will put in a time. And looks like Brian Dorsey will have a chance to put in a time. Carlos Maciel, I do not believe, is going to have enough time to put in a time here, as he still has yet to complete his warm-up lap with 2:50 left on the clock. He might be able to make it if he can get this lap in fairly quick enough. We'll see if anybody can, but right now the two we're watching are going to be Michael Bumgardner and Brian Dorsey, excuse me, as well as Carlos Maciel. Again, they're going to need at least a minute, minimum a minute 16 to get around the track, maybe even a low minute 15 or high minute 15 to get around this track. I would say minute 16 to a minute 17 to get around right now. 2 minutes left on the clock here for Carlos Maciel, as he has not put in a time just yet. Neither has Michael Bumgardner in the number 97 machine. He's coming to the line though, and he should do it right there. He should be able to put in another lap, and that's going to put him in 4th place with a minute 16:922 there. Sorry, 9:23 as it upgrades there just a little bit. Brian Dorsey off the track. Thiago Vieira in the 52 off the track as well, but in a different way. We'll see. He's coming to the line. This is going to be a close one for him to be able to complete this, as he's going to have a flawless run. And he gets a little loose there. That's not going to help. In a minute 24 and a minute 20 left as he comes to the line for his warm-up lap. He's going to have to run a perfect lap right here, folks, if he wants to be able to complete that lap. Carlos Maciel, I think, will have time to make it. Nobody else will have time. Those are the only 2 drivers that are out on the track, and the only 2 that, even if someone was to come out, would be able to make it. So we'll keep an eye on those 2 here for qualifying to see how they do. And hey, we got Chuck Kemper in chat. Just saw you there, Chuck. Got your message. And I'm not sure what's the the deal. Most likely they've went off the track somewhere and we just didn't catch them. But yeah, it's weird that their laps are not counting. It could be a glitch in iRacing too. You never know with iRacing. As Carlos Maciel's going to put in a time. A minute 22:77 is what he's going to run on our end, but that time not counting for him. So something else happening there. That time is not counting. And that's going to be interesting to see why these laps are not sticking for people. Unless they're going off course like that right there. But that very well could be the issue. That they just went off course since it is the road course here tonight. Would be my best guess anyway. But regardless, it is time to get down to your starting grid here for tonight's race. Again, going to be a good race. But of course, I just read the other, what a great announcer. Thanks, Chuck. Glad to have you with us here. But should be a good race, but a long race. And no cautions here tonight, at least full course cautions. So let's drop down to the track if we could. As this time we got the Porsche out there for the pace car. Your Walls Beard Co. Beard Bomb starting grid on row number 1 is going to be the 2 of Jameer Muhammad. On his outside, his fierce competitor, that's going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. Row 2 is going to be the 3 of Alex Huffman and the 97 of Michael Baumgartner. Row 3 is going to be the 80 of Rafael Drindell and the 17 of Sterling Smith. Row 4 is going to be the 45 of Brian Jones and the 32 of Jack Fellers. Row 5 is going to be the 56 of Mike Watts and the 57 of Justin Callahan. These two seem to be matched up side by side just about every week in that 56 and 57 machine. Row 6 is going to be the 51 of Brandon Young and the 94 of Jeff O'Quinn. Row 7 is going to be the 22 of J.W. Lopez and the 6 of Matthew Ellis. Row 8 is going to be the 4 of Justin Winters and the 99 of Justin Starr. Row 9 is going to be the 69 of Josh Reeves and the 77 of Justin Spear. Row 10 is going to be the 86 of Jacob Hess and the 24 of Cody Young. Row 11 is going to be the 82 of Justin Lopez and the 81 of Carlos Maciel. Row 12 is going to be the 52 of Thiago Vieira and the 14 of Adam Henderson. Row 13 is going to be the 9 of Brian Dorsey and the 83 of Lorenzo Vieras. And there is nobody on row 14. 13 rows of drivers here. Let's make that 12. It looks like Matthew Ellis and Justin Lopez not making the call here for tonight's race. Again, 40 laps is what we have on the books. If you're just tuning in, well, you didn't miss much. You're watching the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors live here on Virtual Racing Network, the sim division of RaceOnTexas.com. As always, I am your host here for tonight's race, Charles Wooten in the booth. And as always a reminder, if you do have a company business or just want to sponsor the channel, if you have a league, whatever it may be, a big event coming up, we are looking for these last few sponsors here to partner up with us for 2019 into 2020. And of course, your sponsorship can go double the distance, as it will double down for Race on Texas as well. And you can get double the exposure in some live pay-per-view events as well for some real-life dirt track racing in the state of Texas and Louisiana. But regardless of that, it's set to take the green flag this time. We'll see when they officially get it. And there it is. Green flag is out, and we are racing. And there you see the flagman waving. So far, so good here for the start. Nobody mangling them up pretty early. We're going to have to go back here and see. And it looks like everybody does make it through fairly good, as we're having some issues there with iRacing as well. We do apologize for that. Let's go to a different camera if we could. And here they come through. I don't even know what corner that is at this point, to be honest. They're going into the little straightaway. They're going to be coming through, I believe, The S's here in the middle. They may have just went through the S's, but regardless, Jameer Muhammad out front, followed by Michael Bumgardner, Mikey Neal Jr. behind him, followed by Alex Huffman and Raphael Trindell. Is everyone staying right there together? We really haven't seen the separation I thought we would see early on in this race. But those I'd say about front five are getting a little bit of a gap there to Brian Jones in the 45 Jalopnik Chevrolet here tonight. We'll see Sterling Smith back there in 7th place, hanging on to it. Again, some really good racing from everybody here tonight as we'll go to a little bit of static cam here. You can see them all coming through the corner as we go back to the front of the field. Jameer Muhammad, he will lead his first lap there. We have 39 laps left to go. Again, these laps are going to wind down very quickly. So it'll be interesting to see who strategizes the best. And looks like they're going to make a one stop here as we already have some cars slowing in the back. Adam Henderson, Cody Young. I don't know what Cody Young was thinking when he painted this car. But I'm pretty certain that he may have been drinking a few of them buds that were on the hood. If that is one jacked up looking car, Cody, you know, we got to make fun of you as he goes through the grass. So his driving here tonight is like he's had a few of them as well. So again, not sure what the 24 was thinking when he painted that car. But Cody Young, we know you love you out there. But definitely need to work on that paint job as we'll go back to the front here. Mikey Neal Jr. hanging on to 2nd place. Alex Huff behind him as Bumgardner does get by. Jameer's going to fall to 4th. While we were back there looking at that, I don't know what you'd call that paint job. And Jameer Muhammad falling back a little bit here as it looks like Raphael Trindell is going to try to get by him in the 80 machine. He is still right there with him. And I see a little bit of damage to the backside, it looks like, of the two there is. So if we go to Raphael Trindell, and let's go to his nose camera if we could, and see right there is some damage to that or the right side of that back of the car. You can see where it's smushed in just a little bit. So he didn't just fall back. I believe he had some help here going backwards in this field. So it's something we'll have to look for as they go over the little rumble strips there. And we go back to our main camera. He is still chasing down Alex Huffman here at the moment. Everybody, of course, chasing Michael Bumgardner in that 97 machine here at the moment. We'll see. We've got the Brazilians here tonight. Everybody knows that you go over to Britain and the British. They are so good at road course racing. We're about to see here tonight just how good the Brazilians are at road course racing. As we'll see if they're just as good as the Brits here at these road courses. Right now, one of them's out front, and we got one in 5th. So they're definitely showing that they have it. But back here still, Jones and Smith hanging in there. We got Mike Watts in the 56 machine, and not sure what's going on with Sterling Smith, but he's going to relinquish one spot to Mike Watts. So he takes it down to the bottom, almost scraping the inside wall. And then he gets it back together and keeps going in the right direction. So damage to the number 17 machine, but still in this race. So we go back, and we got a car way off pace, and it's just because they're going through the big turn there. That is Justin Winters in the number 4 machine. Again, not a whole lot going on now. They are starting to get a little bit spread out, but still going to be on a good little battle, I think. We'll just have to wait and see how the battles do play out on the track. While we have a moment here, let's go to Josh Reeves here. Actually, let's go back to let's go to Sterling Smith as he's trying to run down Josh Reeves and go on board with him. All right, again, we're just letting you run on board here with Sterling Smith for the moment. Let's go up to Josh Reeves. He's trying to run down Brian Jones here for that 7th position. As there he's going to get as Brian Jones slides into the grass just a little bit. And that's going to cost him 1 spot. And here comes Sterling Smith trying to get by. Again, most of these cars staying fairly clean out there, but that going off into the grass will invalidate your time, and of course it will cost you a position if anybody's within striking distance. Who's not within striking distance? That is Mikey Neal right now to that 97 of Michael Bumgarner. He is out front, and he has pulled away to a sizable lead here at the moment, as he's going to come real close to those tires. That is very dangerous to do so, but he is making quick work of it here, as he is that good about getting around these corners. But it's definitely something you have to be on the lookout for. You get too close to those tires and you could net code into them, or you could just flat hit them, as we are a few laps in, and it looks like Cody Young is going to go ahead and come down pit road. It looks like his night will probably be done here at the moment, so that's unfortunate, as he is on a pit road with heavy damage. But again, no cautions coming out, and we got Justin Starr now going around as well. So let's go back and we can go back and take a look and see what happened quickly to that one, as again the 99 of Justin Starr going around here, and we'll see exactly what happened. He takes that corner extremely wide, and the 33 has nowhere to go, gets into him, and spins him around there, and that is what's going to cause the 99 to go around. But again, not because of caution, because we do not have cautions here tonight. Cody Young will be the only car so far with a possible DNF. DNSs here tonight are going to be Justin Lopez and Matthew Ellis. As we go back towards the front of this field, Jamir Muhammad still would love to get back to the front of this field where he was. He's just not there yet, as he has, of course, led a few laps, but he's not going to lead many more if he doesn't get back to the front. And a little bit of damage, I don't think should slow him down too much. It's not a very aerodynamic track, but it will possibly hinder his speed just a little bit. As we go, and we have the 57 now going around there of Justin Callahan around those tires. I'm wondering if they had a factor in it, as we are actually almost a quarter of the way done with this race. We're on lap 7 of 40 here at the moment. Bumgarner still out front. Mikey Neal Jr. right behind him. As we'll see, again, we don't even have the ability to really go crank it up here tonight like we like to. We have the cameras in place, but unfortunately, without them all bunched up together, it doesn't do us much good. So we unfortunately do not have that, so that's one less thing we can do for the fans out there. But it looks like Mikey Neal Jr. is taking dirt style lessons over here. He's going to drift it around the corner there. Very skillful like there, as he drifts it around the corner. We'll see Alex Huffman back there, and we got someone going around, and that is going to be Justin Winters in the 4, as he goes off-roading, and he's taking some lessons. He wants to go dirt style in here tonight as well. Again, we have to just keep an eye on these as we go back to the front here, or close to it anyway, to Jamir Muhammad running down Alex Huffman. That hasn't caught him here at the moment, as we are on lap number 10 of 40 here, or sorry, lap 8 of 40 here for tonight's race. We'll be a quarter of the way done with this race before you know it. Now let's go back and check in with S32 of Jack Fellers, as he is sitting in 11th place right now after a top 3 finish last week, or last Sunday I do believe it was. But tonight not going his way, as he's running a minute 18 in his last lap, actually not even counting, as we have about 3 minute 16. So Huffman, Neal, and Bumgarner all running a minute 16s on their fastest lap. On the last lap, Mikey Neal Jr. Was actually .010 faster than your race leader in the number 8 machine. So we'll see if he can run it down here as they're starting to put cars a lap down. Adam Henderson and Justin Spear both a lap down. And Mikey Neal Jr. is going to get around Justin Spear in the 77 as well. As we are on lap number 9 of 40 here so far. Again, we're going to go caution free. It is going to be Michael Bumgardner out front. Let's zoom out and let you see this field. And just in all its wonder here, there you can see the gap to the lead from first to second on your screen. As it is a sizable gap right now of 2.2, or now let's make it 3.133 seconds, as Michael Bumgardner just so fast here tonight. Question is, will anybody have anything for him, or will he possibly make a mistake that could cost him the win? And no caution is definitely not good. You have no chance to recover, and I have no choice to chance to get my voice back here. But definitely, it's going to make it very, very tough here for these drivers to do anything to get their laps back, as they would definitely need some cautions there. So we're going to have Sterling Smith trying to park it in the parking lot here in the number 17 machine. Excuse me, we are on a lap number 10 right now, and I apologize, I do not feel good here tonight. But Sterling Smith trying to go into the parking lot as we are a quarter of the way done with this race. We are going to step away for a quick early commercial break, as with no cautions, we got to get them in, and we need the hydration break as the 17 spins out well, it says 33, that is the 24 of Cody Young, and he will give him a shot to the back bumper. Around he goes. Again, you just saw that live, as we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back here in just a few moments, folks.
Say command.
What is the weather like in LA?
The weather is clear in LA.
What is the weather like in New York?
The weather is rain in New York.
Use flow mode.
Flow.
Say hello, TT.
Hello, TT.
Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going to continue on with this race here tonight. Again, cautions will not play a factor in the race, as you're watching your leader right now. And there is Mikey Neal. He has cut the lead to 2.766 seconds. So the lead to second place, that gap has shrunk just a little bit here, but not by much. And now it's going to go back up to a 2.9 seconds, so he is going to have to find something to reel him in. As you can see how hard he is driving it here as he goes into the grass. He's actually maybe a little bit over driving it here tonight, so he's got to not overdrive it and just drive as easily as he can. The more you overdrive it, the more stuff like that's going to happen, as he takes out two of the cones to pit road. But keeps going. That gap now 3.6 seconds once again. So he's definitely just got to calm down and get into his groove. He knows he's fast, as he's actually a little bit faster. That time he wasn't, but he is faster than your race leader at certain times, and he knows it. So he's just got to calm down and get into a groove, and he'll be up the front before you know it. Meanwhile, Alex Hoffman right now 8.2 seconds off the lead. He has a huge gap to the lead. Jamir Muhammad, who's been up front and now is struggling here with a 16-second gap. And I'm sorry, Alex Huffman has a 12-second gap to the lead. A 16-second gap to fourth place, Jamir Muhammad, as your race leader is really starting to pass people now. Let's go on board with him and see if anybody's in his direct line of sight. And there are some cars going to be coming into the picture. And this could be exactly what Mikey Neal needs. As these guys, we try not to make it sound negative in any way, but these guys are in the back because they're back markers, at least for tonight's race. They may not be every race, but the guys in the back are the back markers here. They're back there for a reason. Whatever it may be, they have damage. They just can't get around this track as well as they can some other tracks. And, when you're a leader coming up on these guys, knowing that they're back here, you have to be super careful to try to avoid not getting collected into anything they're doing. Is like you said, there's a reason they're back here, whether they just can't drive the course so well and that well here today. It's not their style of racing for the road course, or they have damage and they may not be driving that car as best they can, or as best that car could be driven. And you could get tangled up into the mess, and that is the last thing that you want to do. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how it plays into the battle for the lead, as your leader is starting to run down two more drivers. I'm not sure who they are at the moment. Let's take a look. And it's going to be Carlos Maciel, one of them, and those two kind of teammates. So whatever you want to call it, he lets him by. He actually pulls out of his way to let him by. Could be a very sportsman-like move, or could be a teammate-like move. We'll find out. The question is, how easy is he going to let the 8 by? Probably not quite as easy as he let Michael by. Of course, Michael Bumgarner going to be the leader and his teammate there, whereas Mikey Neal is not. So we'll see if it was just a teammate deal or a sportsmanship deal, depending on how easily he lets Mikey Neal Jr. by, as he will, of course, be catching him here momentarily. And you see as we zoom in on that car just a little bit. And there you see right there, he's going to pull over and let him by as well. So right there, that shows the sportsmanship of Carlos Maciel in that 81 machine. It was not a teammate favor, letting your teammate by to let him by and then to hold up the competition, or at least hold them off as long as you could. It was just a genuine sportsman-like deal. He let both of the leaders by there and didn't hold either one of them up. So a very sportsman-like deal there for Carlos Maciel in the 81 machine. As we go to third place, nothing going on there. Alex Huffman all by himself out on the track, followed by Jamir Muhammad, who has open sails in front of him. He can see Alex Huffman in front of him, though, but just hasn't been able to catch him. Josh Reeves back there, and we got, that is going to be Leandro Vieira is going around there just a little bit. He gets off course, but he will recover from it. And again, it's so hard to tell who's off pace and who's going around a corner, as there goes Brandon Young in that 51 Beard Reverence Chevrolet, and he is going to take one more spot. But again, that is from the 80, who is not on the same lap as him, by the way. That is Rafael Trindle that is in 7th place. Brandon Young back one lap down in 20th. So those two are battling for real estate, but not for a position. We'll see. Oh, big contact between the 80 and the 51. Let's go back and take a look at that and see what happened. As let's try to find the best view we can. Let's just go to the aerial view if we can. And I'm not sure what happened to Brandon Young in the 51. They were side by side. Contact was made right there. And we'll see. More contact made. I don't know, folks. That may be a little bit of retaliation there from the 80. Let's go back and take one more look at that if we can from the aerial view. Brought to you by Sames Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And they're coming around the corner here. This is about corner number 1 or 2, I do believe. And you'll see right there just a little bit of contact. And then you'll see a shot right there. Now, that was a deliberate shot to the back bumper, folks. From the 80 to the 51. As you can tell, he definitely did not check up like he needed to. And a deliberate shot to the back bumper from the 80 to the 51. Spins out the 51. And then, of course, the 51 of Brandon Young comes back onto the track after trying to save the car and right into the door panel of the 80. So ended up collecting himself into the incident as well. And he is going to come flying now due to that. It looks like the 80 may be hot under the collar here tonight as he's overdriving it, trying to catch up to the 52 of Thiago Vieira here at the moment. So we'll see if he can run him down. Here's we're on lap 18 of 40. We're just about at the halfway point. And green flag pit stop should be underway momentarily. So, excuse me again, not feeling 100% here tonight. Let's go here. Let's go a lap with Rafael Trindle. He's got a lot of damage. And so we're coming to the line. We're going to go silently, go one lap around this track with him just to see how that car's handling now after all of that damage that was acquired. Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming through the line, so that damage not slowing him down too terribly much here in that number 80 machine. But definitely has quite a bit as he's not quite able to catch Thiago Vieira. But meanwhile, we're going to go to pit road as we have one of our drivers coming in, and that is going to be Brian Jones in that 45 machine. He will be the first driver to come down at pit road to take a stop, as there he is hiding behind the wall. And we'll see who else is going to be coming down with him. They'll have to slow down quite a bit. Michael Bumgardner is going around, so he won't be coming down this time. And we'll go over to the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. It looks like he is going to stay out as well. We know they can make it about 21, 22 laps on fuel. And right now we have 21 laps to go, so it would be pushing it there to the last little bit. These guys are going to come down here in the next lap or so as Mikey Neal passing the 14 of Adam Henderson there to, well, wouldn't put him a lap down, but he is passing him anyway. We'll see. We're going to have Josh Reeves in the 69 come down pit road. He will take his one and only pit stop here as he blinks out once again with a connection issue. And there goes the rest. We got the drivers starting to fall back due to those pit stops. Again, Josh Reeves on pit road, and it looks like Brian Jones has merged back with this field as he is back on the track. He is one lap down. The good news is he will be able to get that back here once it all cycles around because there is no caution, so he can't get trapped a lap down. But he definitely would like to get it back as quickly as possible as the 69 of Josh Reeves is clear of pit road. So he will go, and it looks like Michael Bumgardner going to drop it down to 20 miles an hour. He comes down pit road, and Mikey Neal Jr. going to follow him behind. So our top two drivers here, Michael Bumgardner and Mikey Neal Jr. coming down pit road. 2 tires, 4 tires. Which is it going to be here for the 8 of Mikey Neal? He could capitalize with a 2-tire stop, but I think them tires are going to be necessary here in tonight's race. Alex Huffman in the number 3 machine. He is currently in a 3rd place, and looks like Jameer Muhammad's going to come down as well. Mikey Neal is being scored as the race leader, but that's only because he's higher in the pit stalls here at the moment. And Bumgardner going to get, he'll regain the lead, followed by Mikey Neal Jr. And Alex Huffman will be the next one out as Jameer Muhammad comes to a stop, as Thiago Vieira has not come down. So far, so good. Stops for everybody here tonight. Mike Watts coming down pit road. Justin Starr, as well as Rafael Trindell coming down pit road as well. So he will complete his stop here momentarily. And everybody starting to come down. They have to come down here with 20 to go. Halfway point is underway. As soon as pit stops are complete, we will have our second commercial break of the night, but we will not step away until then, as we'll go over to Brandon Young, if we can find him on the track here. He is, of course, 3 laps down here at the moment. He is still on the track as he is coming around the corner in the number 52 of Thiago Vieira, who is currently your 3rd place driver, who has not come down pit road yet. Keep in mind, Thiago Vieira in the 52 has not come down pit road, so he is on older tires, and he is going to come down this time. So that will give him his only stop of the night, almost locking it up coming down pit road, but he keeps it going straight. Let's go back here just a little ways. Sterling Smith, who hadn't come down, is coming down now. Jack Fellers still not coming down pit road. He is going to stay out there with 19 laps to go. Going to be 18 next time by, as well as Jeff O'Quinn. But no, Jeff O'Quinn coming down pit road in that 94 John Deere Ford. As I don't even think you can mix John Deere and Ford together, can you? Isn't that like a cardinal sin or something? But regardless, he has that number 94 coming down pit road. Jacob Hess in the 86 also coming down pit road here to complete, 86 going to be completing his stop. Jeff O'Quinn still there. Again, pit stops are underway. The 57 of Justin Callahan's coming down. Leandro Vieira's coming down pit road as well. And we'll see Justin Winters sitting on pit road. Michael Bumgardner still your race leader. He has already made his pit stop here tonight. So pit stops just about complete, and for the most part, very good stops for everybody here tonight. No major issues on pit road. So we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Although Jack Fellers has not come down pit road, he almost has to come down this time. And he is going to slow down, and Jack Fellers in that 32 machine brings it down pit road, as well as the 22 just in front of him. 22 machine is going to be JW Lopez, so both of them will complete their stops here this time. And looks like that's going to leave Carlos Maciel, and he's coming down pit road in the 81 machine. And Justin Spear, who has not come down yet in the number 77 machine. The question is, when will he come down? And he's not doing it this time, as he's on his 21st lap here. We have 18 laps to go. Everybody in your top 18 have pitted here so far. So we are going to step away to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. If we see something happen on the track, we'll come back early. If not, we'll be back here after a quick commercial break.
This is a demonstration for the built-in water temperature sensor of W5 CPU water block. There is a water temperature sensor built inside W5 to detect the temperature of the coolant that runs through W5. Here, we're using thermal mode and time-lapse effect to show the temperature change of the system. You can easily see the real-time temperature change on the software screen. W5 is also made with central inlet design, which contributes to higher coolant flow that helps faster heat dispatching to achieve a lower coolant temperature, of which you can see on the software thanks to the water temperature sensor. While W5 shows you the temperature of the coolant that runs through your CPU water block, you can also throw in a Pacific TF1 indicator to monitor the temperature and coolant flow of your whole system.
Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have 16 laps to go as your leader, catching up with the 32 of Jack Fellers here. And we'll see if he's going to let him by or if he's going to battle him here. Obviously, he doesn't want to go a lap down. You know, there is a, the kind of a unwritten rule that, you let the leader by. But that, again, is an unwritten rule. I really don't even agree that it's a rule. It's maybe a sportsman-like thing to do, but it is not a rule in any book that I have ever found. So he does let him by, but I think that was mostly a part that Michael Bumgarner in that 97 was just that fast as he drives it off into the dirt. And here comes Mikey Neal Jr. trying to get by the 99 of Justin Starr, who is 2 laps down. And Mikey Neal once again going dirt tracking here, as Justin Starr goes to the high side and lets him by. Mikey Neal, though, he's doing a good job of saving this car here in that number 8 machine, as that's the second time that we've seen him anyway that he tries to go dirt tracking here. We'll see Alex Huffman at the moment. That's right, it's not that Alex Huffman. There we go. There's Alex Huffman. That was Josh Reeser seeing there, but Alex Huffman kind of all by himself here at the moment in the 3rd place. Not a whole lot of people around him in the number 3 machine. There's Josh Reeves, who also just got by the 4 of Justin Winters. So Josh Reeves and Justin Winters battling for track position, but not for real estate, but not track position. Again, we apologize for the loopiness we have here. Is of course not feeling 100% here tonight. We are definitely doing the best we can here to hang on to this one. We just not feeling 100%. It's again, we do apologize for that. As it looks like Josh Reeves gonna have a little bit of a blink there, so we'll see if his connection issue can't stay up. Let's go back and take a look at the 14 car. We were just talking about him. That is Adam Henderson here, who is well off the pace, running minute 35 laps, 3 laps down in this race. Just not having a good race at all in the number 14 machine, as it looks like he's got a whole herd of drivers coming by him that are going to try to get by him again. And that is going to start with the 56 of Watts. That is Mike Watts, and he will get by him. Looks like Justin Callahan back there and Justin Starr going to be one of the next ones to get by him as well. So just not having a very good night here tonight. Hanging around in the back of the back here, and back in 21st spot again. Several laps down at the moment. We only have 9 drivers on the lead lap. Obviously, some of these guys, Jack Fellers, Jacob Hess, Jeff O'Quinn, all the way down to Justin Gallahan 1 lap down. We got a couple of 2 and then several 3 and 4 and 5 lap downs as well. Oh, well. Again, just not feeling real good, but the good news is this race will be over very shortly here, and we can get back to racing here with 13 laps to go. Mikey Neal still trying everything in his power to catch the leader. He's right there, but just hasn't been able to get to the front here as he's been running down Bumgardner here for pretty much his entire race. And he has stayed within about 3.5 seconds. He hasn't been able to catch him, but he hasn't really fallen off of him either. Oh, again, some great racing here if you just have to find the battles going around the track. As we got a good one going back here. Again, these are battles that are going on. They're not for position. They are for real estate, and there's a big difference between the two. We refer to those all the time. If you're battling for real estate, it is just for your spot on the track. If you're battling for position, you're actually battling for points. Right now, as there goes another connection issue as we have completely lost the 83 there for the moment, but he is back. So we'll see. That was Leandro Vieira's heading that to 83, and there he goes around on the track as well. We go up just a little bit here to the 86. That is Jacob Hess and Jeff O'Quinn just ahead of him. These guys, of course, laps down. Jack Feller's having some connection issues here as well. So we go up to our lead lap car. Sterling Smith is the last one on the lead lap, and he's got heavy damage in the number 17 Extreme Sim Racing Chevrolet here today. We'll see. Brian Jones is just ahead of him, and he is just ahead of him on the track as well, as they both get by the 14 of Adam Henderson once again. So he is right there back in 21st spot, and you're watching Brian Jones in 8th place and Sterling Smith in 9th, but it looks like Sterling Smith may be able to get by him. Brian Jones here for 8th place in the next couple of laps. He's right there behind him by 0.533, and it was by 0.549, so he is actually catching him here, trying to get by him. Oh, I know, Mike and Neil, you're out in chat here with us tonight. I know you might be able to give us some insight there of how that car is handling for Mikey Neil Jr. out there, as usually has some wonderful insights for us. So if you do have a word in there, let us know how the car is handling out there for him. As obviously he's doing everything he can to try and get up there and make it happen, but he just can't quite get to him. Although he has closed the gap to 3.2 seconds from 3.5. We'll see. And there goes Sterling Smith. He will get by Brian Jones in that 45 machine. And again, we have 11 laps to go here in the race. As here comes your leader, Michael Bumgardner, as he gets way loose. Coming around that corner, and I'm not sure who that is. Take a look back there. Who was that? I'm not sure who that was around on the track. As it was going to be the 77 of Justin Spear, who was turned around backwards in that real sharp of a turn. And that is a scary place to be turned around. As let's go back, look just how close he is. He's sitting right there where these guys come into the corner, having to wait for the best time to go around. And that is going to scare a lot of people when they come through there. I'm not sure why he didn't go ahead and turn in there like he just did a little bit sooner. He may have been waiting for a chance to try to turn back the other way and get onto the racing surface sooner, but it didn't happen. Alex Huffman still in third, and he is pretty much clear at the moment. There's nobody around him. The closest car is going to be, I believe that 94 back there, I believe it is. Yeah, Jeff O'Quinn in the 94, a lap down as the closest one to him. So Not going to have a chance to get it for anyone to catch him, but the 32 of Jack Fellers goes off course, hits the outside wall, and he gets even more damage as we go back a little bit here, and we'll go back to the 14 of Adam Henderson battling with the 77 of Justin Spear. Of course, Spear 3 laps down, Henderson now 4 laps down, so that battle not going to matter at all, as Henderson's going to relinquish that spot on the track. Let's go back up here. Again, we're checking in with these little battles going on as it's the 56 and the 9. That is a battle for position. They are both 1 lap down. Brian Dorsey and the 9, Mike Watts in the 56. They are battling for every point they can get. Again, to see the fact that only about 9 drivers are on the lead lap is almost unheard of here at the road courses. The 56 of Mike Watts gets loose and hammers the inside wall, and he is going to pull it into the parking lot here into the corner, and he is going to come back out onto the track, and no harm done. He stays down low and lets people by. That's going to cost him about, well, 2 positions total before he can get that thing back up and running, as he almost hits the wall once again. 2 spots at least, and it looks like he's going to retire it here for the night. So his night going to be done. It looks like the 77 of Justin Spear getting a little loose as well. Mikey Neal now down to 3.1 seconds here in the number 8 machine, as he is starting to run it down the leader here. Just a little bit of a connection issue now underway here for the 8 of Mikey Neal. All right, again, yes, to answer the question, we are indeed trying to definitely feel better. It's just not feeling real swift here today. We are definitely trying. Didn't know if we were even going to make the broadcast here tonight. Mikey Neal, though, getting a little bit loose, and he is going to go through the S's here. Michael Bumgardner still out front leading this race in that number 97 machine. Josh Reeves, I believe, is a real-life racer, though. Sure, he's not used to having his car blink out on him. He probably can't even see it here. But he is currently 34 seconds behind the leader. As look at this group of cars right here. Let's go back to Brandon Young in that 51 machine. So we'll see where he is. We can find him. There he is, Brandon Young in the 51. He's holding off a whole slew of drivers behind him here at the moment. Brandon Young is the last person on the track right now that is being scored actually on the track. Mike Watts has pulled it down to pit road, and that, of course, will net Adam Henderson 1 spot, as he'll at least jump up to 20th, followed by Brandon Young, J.W. Lopez, Cody Young, who has retired for the night, Justin Lopez, and Matthew Ellis. So, several drivers out of the race here tonight, and of course a couple of drivers that just were not in the race. They didn't even start the race, so it's unfortunate for them that they didn't actually get to start the race, but something may have come up for whatever reason they didn't get to make it. We go back up to the front here. 7 laps to go. Mikey Neal Jr. has closed the gap to 1.63 seconds. I'm not sure if something happened to the 97 and Michael Bumgardner, or if the lap traffic is coming into play. We knew lap traffic could play a part in this. And right now there are 8 laps, as they did get by Brian Jones. So Brian Jones may have played a factor in this. We'll see. He lets the 8 by fairly easy, but he still has more cars to go. As we go on board with Michael Bumgardner here, if we could. There we go. You do have a car in front, and I believe that's going to be Sterling Smith in front of him. And, of course, Sterling Smith and Mikey Neal are basically teammates at this point and are working together. So, you know, the 17, he's not probably going to wreck the 97. But he is definitely going to hold him up as much as he can. He's not just going to let him by. This could be the moment that Mikey Neal needs. If he can hold or get by the 97 and hold him off, just run a perfect race here with 6 to go, he could potentially be your race winner here tonight. He is 1.3 seconds behind, and that gap is shrinking ever so slowly. Now 0.866. The gap is getting smaller and smaller as Mikey Neal Jr. coming to the inside, and it looks like the 17, Sterling Smith, not going to have much say in holding off the 97 to help his teammate a little bit. Now he's trying to get by Mikey himself, or Sterling himself, and he does. He's not going to hold them up at all. So right now, 0.933 seconds separate Mikey Neal Jr. and Michael Bumgarner. So it's the battle of the Mikeys here tonight, as we have Michael Bumgarner and Mikey and Neal Jr. out front, both of them having fantastic runs, clean cars here tonight. So the $1 million question is, who will walk away with the win when it's all said and done? We'll be watching and covering every bit of it here tonight, as again, just going to be interesting to see how it does play out. Those lap cars, I think, played a factor a little bit. Now that he's in clean air, that gap's back up to 1.116 seconds. But here comes some more lap cars. That is going to be, I believe, Justin Callahan. It is in the 57, but he's going to get by him fairly easy. Now Mikey Neal needs to get by him just as easy, and it looks like he may do it here. And he's not going to be able to clear him on that turn, but Mikey Neal takes it to the inside, and he'll clear him very easy. So no harm done. What Mikey Neal really needs right now with 4 to go is one of these lead or lap cars to hold up the lead car of Michael Bumgarner so he can get by him. Meanwhile, folks, we haven't even mentioned here tonight that this track is 119 degrees. They're turning left, they're turning right, they are going every direction, uphill, downhill. This has been a brutal battle here for these guys. Just to physically mention, this race is unlike any other. It really wears you mentally and physically, and I can almost promise you when we talk to these drivers, they're going to tell you just that, that this has been a brutal race for everyone involved. Jeremy, hey, better late than never. Glad to have you in chat. As right now, we still got 4 to go, and they're 4 very long laps. So you didn't get here too late. You still get here for the post-race show as well. As Michael Bumgarner leading the race here by 1.7 seconds. And those lap cars were playing a factor there. As at the moment, not anything in his sights. Let's go on board with him if we could. And there you see right there. Clean sailing here for the 97 of Michael Bumgarner. He does have a car in front of him, but at the moment, I don't think he's going to catch him. He may catch him before these 3 laps are over. We'll have to see as we go off board once again. He goes way over those. So does Mikey Neal Jr. I want to go back a little bit here. Look here, Jameer Muhammad and Thiago Vieira is way back here. As just about everybody on this track has damage somewhere on their car. Nobody has a clean car, and that is indicative of this type of racing. There's a lot of beating and banging. You wouldn't think here at a road course. Rafael Trindale in the number 80 machine running down his teammates. At the moment, he was involved in an incident early on, as we see there. Thiago Vieira is going to scrape the wall just a little bit. So we have cars going through that real sharp turn now. Thiago Vieira holding off Rafael Trindale. Sterling Smith in the 17 machine running down Rafael Trindale. Again, he's a lap down, so it's not going to matter. We have 7 drivers on the lead lap here at the moment. Obviously, ideally, we would like to see a few more on the lead lap, but it is just the way the cookie crumbles here tonight with 2 laps to go. Michael Bumgarner out front, and he's running down the 9 of Brian Dorsey at the moment. Brian Dorsey not just going to hand over and give him the spot. Hell, he may there, as he's not going to battle him too hard here with 2 laps to go. Nobody wants to be the reason the leader doesn't win the race because of a lap car, so he will let him by. Here is Brian Dorsey currently 2 laps down. Next one would be Jacob Hess, who would potentially go lap down, as it looks like Leandro Vieres is going to go ahead and call it a day, as his night is done. He pulls at the pit road and calls it quits. But right there, they're coming up to get the white flag. It's going to be 1 lap to go here, presented by Northwest Racing Series. Is right there. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go, again presented by Northwest Racing Series. And it is all up to Michael Bumgarner right now. If he does anything to make a mistake, it could cost him the win, as Mikey Neal 0.816 seconds behind. Here at the moment, Mikey Neal is trying to make his move. Justin Starr just in front of him. We'll see. Justin Starr not wanting to just hand over a position, but he is going to pull over to the side. Oh, these lap cars not making it any battle for the leaders here. They're just literally pulling over to the side and not racing them at all. I would have loved to see some of these guys try to at least race a little bit, but they don't. They just hand over the lead, or hand over, not really the lead, but hand over the position and don't battle them at all, and that is going to alter this wow, I cannot speak because I don't feel good. The outcome of this race is, I really think if one of these would have battled him a little bit, Mikey Neal could have possibly put it in victory lane here tonight. But as is, it's not going to happen, and that will leave the 97 and Michael Bumgarner, your race winner here tonight for the RACECORE Xfinity Series, presented by Global Building Contractors, live here on Virtual Racing Network. And we'll be talking to your top 3 drivers here in a moment, as the 97 is going to do some celebrating in the dirt and grass there just a little bit. Mikey Neal got to be feeling a little bit disappointed here with the 2nd place finish, but still a solid run. And Alex Huffman going to be your 3rd place finisher. So we'll get rid of your top bar, and we'll be right back here momentarily with your post-race show as we go ahead and pull down your finishing order here on the screen. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we have our top three drivers here in the post-race show with us. And, of course, starting in third place, as always, well, almost always anyways, that is going to be the number 3 of Alex Huffman. An outstanding run here. Obviously, a little further back than you'd like to be from the front, too. But still a solid run here in a... this track is mental and physically abusive to you, as you have to work on pit strategy, tire strategy. You're going uphill, downhill, left, right. So first off, congrats on that third place. And how exhausted are you right now?
I am pretty exhausted. I suck at road courses, so I'll take this as a win as myself because I'm bad at places like this. But I love Sonoma. I love the elevation changes and how hard of a road course it is.
Well, definitely a rough track on anybody that comes here. And this was actually, I believe, one of the shorter courses. So, when it comes to this track, which one would you prefer running? Would you rather run fewer laps at the bigger track, or would you rather run a few more at one of the shorter ones here?
Honestly, I'd rather run more laps with the carousel because I like the carousel. And I want more laps because I feel like more laps I'd get maybe faster at the end. Who knows? Maybe a little bit more pit strategy along the way since we only had one stop today.
Definitely only one pit stop. That could have changed things up quite a bit, so, when you change how many pit stops you have to make and stuff like that. But overall, a good finish for here tonight. You finish in third place. A good points night. Looking forward to next week. Should be a great race as well. And we know you got some sponsors on that car and some shout-outs. So who would those be for that third place finish?
I got to thank Gold Building Contractors, of course, for sponsoring this series. iRacing Drivers World, Gold Cube for the Truck Series. You, Charles, at VRN for, of course, broadcasting this. Justin for running this league. Alan's Body Shop, Huffman Designs. And I congratulate Mikey and Michael on their first and second place finishes.
All right, and of course, speaking of second place, Mikey Neal. That is, of course, the number 8 of Mikey Neal finishing in second place. And, of course, we have to ask those tough questions, Mikey. We talk about, well, not every week, but we talk about it when lap cars come into play here. There is no technical rule on lap cars that they have to get out of the way, especially if they're on the lead lap. But we saw just about every car that you and Michael came up on. They didn't really try to put up too much about it. They didn't even really run their line. They just dove out of the way and just pulled it basically to a stop on the track. I think if that hadn't happened, things may have turned out a little bit different here. But what are your thoughts on this track as a whole? And do you think, too, if those drivers had actually done, the racing part of it and not just pulled over, do you think this race could have turned out differently?
Well, the thing about that, though, is that usually you can race if you're still on the lap race for your lap back, but there's no cautions tonight, so those guys know that no matter what, they can't get that lap back. They're going to have to go a lap down anyway, so, I think they did a nice thing of doing that. Some of them, not everybody got out of the way. There were some people who, decided to race it, which is all right, too. But, I'd never raced this track before, my first time racing it. And so it was pretty tough, and compared to I'm pretty good at Watkins Glen. Compared to Watkins Glen, I definitely need to get some work in at it. But overall, I think that first run I ran, I did okay. I kind of babied it just to see what I can get or what I can get out of it. And then second run, I decided just to try to speed it up a little bit, see if I can catch him. And I got the gap down there pretty quick, and I almost got him at the end, but I got a I think it was a 0.6 second penalty for getting past one of the corners, and I had to slow down for that, which that definitely hurt. And then also, we had no grip there at the end of the race. I was just kind of sliding around. I was doing everything I could, but too bad I couldn't get a win out of it. But I definitely worked my hardest, and like I said, for the first time racing this track, I don't think I did too terrible.
Well, definitely a good point tonight. It was a great race for you overall, and we'll let you go rest because obviously this track beats everybody up, and we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs there. So we know your dad was out there watching at least, so who would those be?
Yeah, I think iRacing Drivers World, Global and Contractors, Gold Cube, and Huffman Designs, all of our sponsors. Yeah, thank you guys all so much. We also got to thank. I also got to thank my teammates at One Sim. They do a great job helping me. So thank you guys. I got to thank you guys for broadcasting the race. Love having you, Charles. I got to thank my mom and dad, and also family members watching. I know they're all watching, so I love you guys. Also, thank everybody for watching the race. All the viewers, thank you guys for tuning in every week. And then also the top 3 out of Alex did a great job. And then also in my car, I had the DW paint scheme. Really wanted to win in it, but it's still pretty cool to finish second in it. And I'll probably bring that scheme back because I really like it and I really want to win one for DW. But thank you guys for watching.
All right, well, again, congrats on the second place finish here tonight. And, of course, that brings us to our race winner, the number 97 here tonight. I believe his first win, or at least the first one that I can remember anyway, which doesn't say much. I forget a lot of stuff. But first off, congrats on the win here tonight. And kind of the same question here for you. Just how mentally and physically exhausting is this track to go even just 40 laps around here trying to hold off the field?
It was pretty grueling for a little bit. I just tried to get myself in a rhythm just to stay in it and try not to abuse the tires too bad. Really coming off a lot of those corners, had a lot of throttle control. Once I got that down, I was able to just maintain and try to pull away there at the end.
Kind of the same thing we talked to Mikey about there. You definitely had a very fast car. Looking here at the last laps, you were about 4/10 faster, maybe about 3/10 faster technically, on that last lap, and you were consistently fast. But those lap cars you were starting to catch them more and more frequently. And obviously, a good few they were kind of pulling over and letting you by there. Same kind of question there with Mikey reeling you in because of those lap cars. If he'd have got a little bit closer and you'd have caught a lap car or two together, do you think that could have changed the outcome of this race?
Definitely could have changed it. I wouldn't think he would try to dirty me up, but I definitely think he would have raced hard. And definitely a lot of lap cars. I got out of the way, but some of them didn't do us a lot of favors. But that's their right, so it's whatever they wanted to do. But definitely didn't do us a bunch of favors out there. But all in all, it was pretty good.
It definitely was. You get the win here tonight. Obviously, you'll be celebrating this win for a while. But any sponsors on that car, and just, of course, any shout-outs you want to give for this win here tonight?
Definitely a shout-out to the Global Building Contractors Series. They put on a great show. I don't run all the races, but when I do come, I know it's going to be a good race they put on. So just shout-out to them.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the win here tonight. And that, of course, will do it for the racing action here tonight, as we will come back here next Sunday night with some more great racing here for the RACECORE Xfinity Series. We'll be live tomorrow night with the Northwest Xfinity Series, and we'll be back Tuesday night with the Truck Series, and then, of course, Wednesday night, which I believe, if I am correct, let me make sure on this before we go out there and announce it. Yes, this Wednesday we will have the World of Thunder, and then the following week will be the season finale for the World of Thunder fixed modified series, and then we come back on the 31st. And we will, our July 31st that is, and we will have some midgets coming your way here. So stay tuned for that, as we're going to have some midget racing coming your way here for the first time on the channel. So we expect to see good things from that. But as always, we will see y'all at the next race.